I'm at the gas station, if you guys are wondering. I decided to go ahead and pack my bicycle, so I got up about an hour earlier just so I could pack up all my stuff here. Um, and come down to the corner store. That way I'm ready to rock and roll today. Today looks like the day, well, it is the day that I hop back on. Beautiful weather, guys. Look at this. Woohoo! So today I get back on the bicycle and start pedaling. And I'm only rocking one phone, so you know, so I'm gonna have to. Good morning. We got the Planet Doug. Hey Planet. Hey Doug. Hey Planet. Hey Mr. Planet. This could be a live stream from a hammock, right? No, no, this isn't. This is the first day. Tomorrow will probably be a live stream from a hammock, and possibly in the rain. But I'll set up my rain fly. I just want to get back on the road. Yeah, you're pretty rainy over in KL there, Doug. So Doug said this could be a live stream from a hammock, right? And in the rain, or at least a bit damp in the weather. Weather in KL is any guideline? Sorry, I keep forgetting. I gotta read these questions out loud for the people that might be viewing this later. Yeah, we're dry on the East Coast, actually. Yeah, that's the main thing is I have plenty of gigs now. I got the 2000. I'm not sure how the reception is, but it was kind of funny because I do believe people were mooching off it during the daytime because I was only getting like 7 kilobits per second. I mean, no, 7 megabits per second. So that probably means all the bandwidth was taken up during the daytime, but then it increased to like I think almost 60 or something, like 50, not on my phone. So I just rocked the data the whole time. It seemed to be better. But I was going over my bicycle. I'll show you something. This part of my bicycle, so if I have the phone in, this part covers up the camera. So it's just black. You know, it's just black the whole time. So I can't actually go down the street and have this positioned where I can switch back and forth from my face to like the road. So I don't know how Josh over there at Hidden Hammock has his bicycle set up. I've seen how you set yours up, Doug. I don't have the equipment for that. I mean, half that bike is camera. That's pretty funny. But Doug, I think Josh has a more simplistic setup. He's rocking it off just his phone. I don't know what his phone mount looks like. So I'm up for ideas on how to mount it. I try to use the GoPros, or not the GoPro, the strap I had for my bag, you know, that I bought for my DJI. There's a connection piece. I've been using it as like the phone mount on the desk, but I try to strap that to the handlebars. I'll have to remove a bunch of stuff on the handlebars because if you can see, I mean, all space is taken up from phone holder to my light, and so I just don't really actually even have the space for that. DJI Osmo Mobile 7. Yeah, you're talking about the yeah, I was looking at the DJI Mobile 7 the other day. It's expensive. They have a 2 models on that one. There's the less expensive 7, and then there's like the 7 Plus or whatever. That one has a light on the front if you need it, but it has a facial recognition tracking thing. So the same way that the DJI Pocket has it. So you can activate it. It's just a little sensor that follows your face around so that your camera actually follows you. So I've been looking at those. But the thing is I want to try and be minimalistic with my gear too. I don't want to get too crazy. The hard part for me to do it is once I realize that some gear is like more or less useless, which I have 1 or 2 of those purchases, it's hard to throw it away. You know what I'm saying? Is like, why don't you use it? You know, like The backpack shoulder strap thing comes with like a metal mount and everything like that. Right now I'm using that as just something to hold my phone up during live streams during the daytime, not its intended purpose. But so yeah, it's a pain in the butt, you know, because it's like it's extra weight, and I really should just be tossing it in the garbage, but I spent money on it, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's one of those things that, you know, it's hard to let go of, but it makes no sense to keep in it, honestly. Maybe I'll go to the camera store and see if I can actually sell it to them, you know, like used or something like that. And if I get some money back, then I don't feel like I'm, you know, wasting it completely. But yeah, I'm trying to remember how much it was. So the Mobile 7, the DJI, which is just a steady cam for your phone, I do believe was over 100 actually. Oh, the 7 Plus or whatever. Yeah, I think the less one. Yeah, it's about 150, I think. I'll have to double check. I don't remember. It just wasn't one of those purchases I felt that I needed to do. Plus, it looks a little fragile, honestly. So right now I'm gonna have to figure out something to do. Like, actually, I could put my camera on my bicycle, and you guys just be staring up my nose the whole time, and just ride it. A little of the this camera gets cut off, about that much, from the mount that actually holds it in. And so, but once I start pedaling, then it's just me paying attention to the road, and you guys staring up my nose. So anyway, I got through most of Planet, well, I got through all of Planet Doug's, well, he hasn't put out the complete marathon yet, I don't think, but that was nice. So yesterday I didn't put out, I put out the earlier days, but yesterday I didn't go out, so I didn't film much. So today I'm not going to have a video to upload. I'm just going to have to combine two of them together. But yeah, it was nice to kick back, watch some of his videos. And, you know, Doug mentioned it, there's not very many creators that can actually watch other people's channels just because you're so consumed in trying to edit, upload, find good Wi-Fi, and film. And yeah, it's extremely time consuming and doesn't pay anything. Because Doug's been doing this for a minute or two, and he's got enough subscribers that he should be, you know, you think, you know, it's like, how many subscribers do you actually need before you actually can say that you make a comfortable living? But that's okay. You know, it's not, it's awesome. You know, it's a great hobby. It's just, it's a hobby that consumes all your time. And then you just don't have enough hours in the day for it, so. Anyway, I'm having my sting, and then I'm gonna hit the road. I started jumping on the, if you guys are following along, I'm just gonna, the road from here is a northern route that basically hugs right along the coast. I don't remember which number it is, and since I only have this phone, I can't look it up right now. So it looks like a really nice route. So that's the plan, guys. Other than that, I'm gonna hop on the bicycle here in a minute. I might just keep this rolling and just scoot along, but the thing is there's no way to face the camera forward, and I guess I could just try and do what I do with my DJI, do one-handed, see how far I can get. Yeah, that's CS says suggests you drop in a gadget store and look for a holder that allows both front and back camera of a unobscured, you know, view. Yeah, that would be the one I had, which has a tendency to throw my phone out once it falls over because there's nothing. So I got this one. That way it doesn't have the slingshot effect when it falls over. It doesn't throw, because actually this would be, hang on, this would be more like this. So when it falls over, the phone goes shooting out this way because there's nothing holding it, and those come down to about here. So the camera should be obscured, but yeah, and the mount's wrong for my other holder for this camera, the one that pinches down like a vice grip on it. It's the wrong connection piece, so I have to figure out something. I just didn't have enough. I didn't actually have enough time this morning, and I wanted to get out on the road. Even a selfie stick should work. It's just I'll have to hold the selfie stick in one hand and kind of maneuver. But then why not just hold the camera in one hand if I'm just going to do that? So anyway, yeah, maybe next time Josh goes live on in Hammock, I'll tell him to point his camera at his setup so I can see what he's got. Yeah, that's what so Doug says maybe I should use my Pocket 3 instead. That's what yeah, Doug, I agree. That's actually what I was thinking about doing. But I don't know how to live stream with Pocket 3 yet using a phone. If you try and look up videos online about it, it tells you how to live stream with using your computer. And you can just hard jack it right in, you know, you can use a hard line for it right to your computer and different things like that. But I only ran into one video that tries to tell you how to live stream using your phone, but it didn't work when I actually tried to figure it out, because I was trying, when you hook up the live stream, it requires your internet. Well, when you hook up to your phone, it requires your Wi-Fi, so it consumes your Wi-Fi, so nothing else is actually connected to it. It needs your Bluetooth, and it needs your location for it to hook up to the DJI. So I could probably do it now because I'm rocking the data, but before I was using the Wi-Fi, so I probably don't have that problem. I'll look into that, Doug. It should be easier now that I'm just, I got the 2,000 gigabytes of data. I should be able to just keep that bad boy on all day long. The bad part about CS, the bad part about the waterproof covers, it'll cover up the speaker on my phone, so it'll just be muffled. So I kind of went over that idea already, you know, having like a waterproof case for my phone, because I actually have one that could hang from my neck, you know, and do a live stream that way. But the thing is yeah, I wouldn't be able to say anything because it'd just be muffled. So that's what I came into the waterproof ones. So I'll try the DJI next time. Oops. Yeah, I can tether the Pocket 3 to my phone. I couldn't find a video on that. What was the thing? Yeah, the videos are limited on what you like. More people, there's more videos on. I'll look into it. I don't know. Tethering the Pocket 3 to my phone, I'm not sure about. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you can do it. It's just I'm not sure if I like looked up the video already, what the deal with that is. It's very limited. Everybody wants to talk about the computer and the DJI, and that's not the world I'm in, because it's like right now I'm just getting more and more equipment. Like I got a lot in battery banks, but it's still enough to let me camp for 5 days with all my electronics being charged, which is my 2 phones, and then my camera, and then I have a bunch of camera gear and stuff like this. It's like so I'm getting more and more and more crap. It's like half of my bulk. I can't get on airplanes anymore and make the 7 kilogram weight, you know. even if I ditched everything except for just my camera gear and just my sleeping bag, or not sleeping bag, my hammock. If I ditched everything else, I still don't think I would make weight. I'd have to drop all the battery banks. The only one I really would keep is the 50,000, just because that one seems the best. It just all in all, it's got a fast charge on it and everything, where it charges devices up fast, and which is very handy when you're trying to charge 5 devices. You can just plug one up at a time and get through them actually faster that way. Because once you go multiple plug-ins, it drops out of that fast charge phase, because it can only fast charge if you're connected with one device. So, but it's a good one. It's weighty. It's big. 50,000 battery bank is. I mean, it's not super big, but it is. Anyway, you guys want to stare up my nose for a second? What I'll do is I'll just go ahead and keep this rolling for a little bit. And they actually have a nice little sitting area out here. This is the gas station right down the way. And let's see. So yeah, Flea, I think I can tether it, but I have to look it back up. I don't know if I ran into any videos. I know everybody talks about tethering it to the computers, and that seems like the more popular option. But I haven't tried to tether. I don't think I found any videos on tethering a phone to it, but I'm pretty sure you should be able to. But yeah, I don't know. I have to look these up. But I'm pretty sure I can just I can actually hook up the live stream for it using my data, because now I don't have to consume. Now I don't have to use the Wi-Fi. Before I was reliant on the Wi-Fi because the data was too much. And anyway, all right, guys, I'm gonna hop on the bicycle. I'll keep this running for a bit. I'll show you what I mean by the little part that blacks out. There you go. So that little black part right there is actually the hook that's in there. One of the things that actually holds my camera. Now, tell me if I lose sound. I'm not sure if the other holder is. I'm not sure if the other clip is actually covering up the speaker or not. Let's see. I guess I could just hold it in my hand like I do the DJI. It's just I need to be on this street over here. So, give me a second. I gotta cross onto the street. So that's where I was, right there, the blue building, right? That one. All right, I'm gonna try and hold this for a bit. I won't be able to see the chat, and I might crash. I'm just joking. Once I get going, it's not that hard. So it's basically this road straight for a while until I hit the coast, and then I'll be going north. So it's not like I need to look at maps right now anyway. And that McDonald's signs for coming up to the with the 188. You'll see it right around this corner here. So I'm not really super far from anything. Not with a bicycle. Now walking might be a little bit farther. But like I said, the hostel I was in is the cheapest you're gonna find at 20 ringgits per night with no foreigner tax, which is pretty nice. And this is the Quanton River over here. This is where I was actually doing most of my filming, because it's a beautiful little park. And it's also where I was watching the fireworks from. That's where I got a little too close to the fireworks. And let's see if I can get over there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I got a stuck brake. I have brake that's stuck. So I wonder why that is. Oh, I know what it is. It's probably getting hung up on this thing right here. The strap that holds this in is probably, so I need to pull that tighter. I'm pretty sure it's this part. You see that? The slack that's in that? I think it's catching the brake, not allowing it to release. That's why I got, it decided to lock up trying to cross the road. All right, well, that's something I have to fix here. Make sure it's the right brake. Anyway, guys, hang on a second. Give me a second here, guys. I'm gonna go into the park and see if I can fix that. Like I said, I think when I pull on the brake, it gets caught up on that the little slack there. I just need to pull that nice and tight, so it doesn't keep doing that. So you saw how close I was to my where the hostel is at. So in the future, if any of you guys stay at that hostel, that's how close we are to this to the monument here. So this is an awesome park at night. This is the one where all the trees here, they have lights on, they all light up, and everybody comes out with their families, and you know, and they just kind of hang out here in the evening. And it's a great park, and it's a nice, beautiful park, and it follows the water all the way down. So let's see. Hang on, I'll jump in the chat here in a second, make sure, see what you guys are writing about. Okay, so that is the riverboat tour pier. You got to call ahead of time. They don't like to keep their doors open anymore. Got to get a hold of them through WhatsApp. You're looking at about 80 ringgits per person and I think they wait till they get a group before they go. You can't go much farther past them, so the fence ends right there, but right on the opposite side of the fence, which is not hard to go around, there's that new nature walkway that goes through, well, these the mangrove trees back here, where you can see, I think they said monkeys, crocodiles, and mostly birds and stuff like that. But that's the brand new exhibit they're opening for free, so you don't have to pay to get in. It's all supposed to be part of this walkway here, and then this continues on down past 188. So it's a nice little walk, and there's some great restaurants right up here. Quite a few of them in a row, just all sharing the same building. So it's up on the left here, and decent prices too. So let me get into some shade. There we go. We got something better to look at in the background. Okay. Sounds good to me. No issues with the audio so far. Okay, so when it was in the phone strap, no real audio signal. I mean, no, oh no, come on. Sorry guys, I'm messing around with my phone. It's trying to go dark on me, and I'm trying to make it not go dark on me. Okay, yeah, well, okay, so the audio sounds good when it's in that clip. Okay, the only bad part is I only get the up my nose view using that thing. Yeah, you mean dry? Yeah, so I'm not gonna. I just did that as an experiment to see what it's like riding around with the phone in my hand. Well, it was a different cruise. So, Lee, that was the whole problem. Is you would think something called the Riverboat Tour would be at the spot when you Google, you know, Riverboat Tour or put it into Google Maps. This comes up as the Riverboat Tour because that is the one that's going almost every day type thing. That's the business right there. But the person that was offering that 40 or 45 ringgit thing deal where you could go do the 188 building plus a riverboat tour during was only for one day, and it was a different company. So by the time I found that out, because I was waiting for the 6 o'clock to see if I could sneak in on it, and no one ever came around for the 6 o'clock. So that's when I decided to give them a call, because there was still the 8 o'clock and the 10 o'clock left. But by the time I did get a hold of them, because I got a hold of that company, they said wrong company, and they sent me over to the other, so I had to look up the other company. That's what it was. And I got a hold of him. He's like, nah, we're all sold out, which makes sense because it was a good deal, you know, for the two, you know, for the 188 building, going up there and doing the view, and then getting the ride for like $10 US. Yeah. So by the time I did get a hold of him and all that, everything was sold out, which makes sense, you know, it really does. But regardless, it was a, you know, this was more just to kick back for a while, just take a break from slow everything down because I'm going through the country too fast. Also, I need to kind of figure out you know, where I go from here. I'm pretty sure I'm still going to Indonesia because, like you said, Flea, everything should be pretty well consolidated within just Java itself, and so that's no big deal. I could still go to Indonesia. It depends if there's travel restrictions or not, though. That's the main thing. If it's too much of an unrest, then they might put travel restrictions on it. So, but other than that, yeah. So But Malaysia's nice. But um, it's also at the point down here where I don't have much. I don't want to go north because there's still things in the south, but I'm running out of places in the south. It's Indonesia. It's East Malaysia over on the island. I still need to give that a chance. And the Philippines, Australia, and New Zealand. So New Zealand's definitely there's a long trail there that I want to do, and I just have to figure out how I'm going to do the long trail, because trying to do it all within, like, I think if they give you like a 3-month visa, it takes 4 months to do the trail. You know what I'm saying? So I'd have to get an extension while there. Camping's no problem there. I just have to make sure I go during the right time. I'd have to go during spring, especially in the southern part, because the northern island's more tropical, no problem. Southern island is that's where they filmed the Lord of the Rings. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely a lot more Iceland. But after I hit those countries, then I can start heading up north to India. Man trap to I can't speak that. I don't have Google Translate on this, Osmi. I can do Google Translate on comments on the YouTube. I can always do a snap and then throw it in. So when I respond to anything that's in Malaysian, it's because I'm running it through Translate. So I don't have that function on live. The main problem for you is that the Indonesian visa is, honestly, that's a huge difference, and also that I think that also affects the tourism. I guess, I don't know. I'd have to look into a study on that, because if you do longer, I think the sweet spot for like a tourist visa is like 2 months, 60 days. I think that's what Thailand does, and it's awesome to have 3 months. So 3 months is an awesome amount, but I think there's a sweet spot for once you start hitting 3 months, you're starting to get the more of the low budget vagabonds like myself. But Thailand has the most low budget vagabonds, but I think that's because the rules are so lax there that everybody prefers to be there just because, and it's very easy. You can leave and come back 2 times per year by the border on the ground, but you can do it several times more if you want to actually get on an airplane and go back and forth, because it's kind of unlimited if you're on an airplane. I think they're just trying to cut back on the visa runs, but I know a lot of people did a lot more than 2 times on the land border than twice. Oh, okay. Hang on a second. The 60-day visa, Doug says, looks like the 60-day visa is now available online for Indonesia, and you don't need a local sponsor to get it. That was the problem, was the sponsor thing. Twice. Inside of Indonesia, you can you can extend it twice. Okay, so that should help quite a bit. Thanks, Doug. I didn't know that. I'll have to look. That 60 days is awesome. That's about what I need. But Indonesia has so many islands and stuff that the islands kind of slow you down anyway when you're traveling. The 30 days isn't enough to visit anything. Okay, you need a sponsor to do the extensions then. But you can do the 60 days. That's fine. Chill. Thank you. All right, thank you for the translation there, CS. You'll be my Google Translate. I'll say, what'd he say? Thank you, CS. Man tap for chill. Okay. Or steady, bro. Okay. So man tap means chill, or kind of like this, right? So the old thing in Hawaii, this hang loose. There's a story behind that. Is that Hawaii was a sugarcane place for sugarcane. That's actually how Hawaii became part of the United States, is because we invaded. Well, sugarcane company paid. Hello, how you doing? Everybody's showing up here.
Hello.
Hello.
Malaysia.
Malaysia number one. See, I told you a lot of people like to come to this park and stuff like this. It's a nice park. But yeah, so the sugarcane company hired the American Army to come over, and basically the American Army ended up overthrowing the Queen and stuff like this. And for the longest time it was just occupied by the United States. So we occupied Hawaii for the longest time, and eventually we're just like, we'll just make it a state, you know. So it went from occupation to just statehood, and not everybody seriously agreed with that, and they still don't. So there's still a government in place, but not a government in place, but like a dormant government that could easily be reactivated, and they could just go back to the way they were. That's why there's kind of a two-tier system. It's like, if you're a natural-born Hawaiian, you can get away with a lot more stuff, because like the cop will be like, you can't fish here, that's protected zone. They're like, we're Hawaiian. He goes, oh, okay. I've seen it happen. Honestly, I've seen it happen. It was like, no, we're Hawaiian, we can fish wherever the hell we want. And they're like, oh, okay. And so I've seen that happen. So anyway, one of the things that came out of Hawaii was this right here. The whole thing was, sugarcane was a big thing. So in Hawaii for a while. So this was supposed to be because one of the guys, an old timer, used to like work the sugarcane fields and stuff like that, ended up getting he used to wave to the kids all the time, but he was missing his first 3 fingers from working out in the fields and stuff. I guess cut him off or something. And so that was the wave. He'd be like, hey kids, hey kids. So that was more of a mocking thing, you know. So the kids started doing this, which caught on as a hang loose type sign. So this is the sugarcane wave with the missing fingers. So that's I don't know how much truth is in that, but that's what I heard when I was over in Hawaii. So I was like, you probably find it online. So if you want to double check me, ask about the guy that was missing his fingers, and you can read the story. But yeah, Hawaii was not bad. Hawaii was pretty okay for an island. Anyway, let's see where we at. We're at 38 minutes, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the live stream here, because I want to keep these down to 60-day tourist visas called the C1. Okay, it costs $60 US. Ooh, steep. So, but I guess that's $1 a day. That's not too bad. They want you to have a bank statement with a balance of $2,000, huh? All right. Well, can you give me a loan there, Doug? I can do that. Actually, I've been able to, because of the small income that I do have, that basically in the United States is only enough for housing but not food, or food but not housing. Actually goes a lot longer in these countries, to the point where in Japan and stuff, and Spain and stuff, my initial 5,000 that I set apart went down to 4,000, so it was like I was tapping into that on top of the amount that I made. So like in my account, I put like 5,000 in my bank account, so I don't touch my savings, because I worked really hard for that. And hopefully one day in the future, when I eventually do want to settle down, it would be nice to buy like a small little 1, you know, or 2 acres or 3 acres, and just get like an off-grid house with where I don't have to pay any bills and stuff. And if I'm smart, I can travel for a long time on the little income I do have. But like, it's not really possible in the more expensive spots like Spain, Japan, even though half the time in Japan I was camping. So I make up for not staying in expensive spots by camping, but that's not possible like day to day. Sometimes I need to go indoors, just, get out of the weather or something. But coming to doing this trip through Thailand up to Laos, then Laos over to Vietnam, especially when I started my bicycling, I don't pay for bus tickets, and then Vietnam to Cambodia. And so what happens is I've been under that amount that I make every month. So where I've actually been able to, the amount that was being drained down, I think I got to like $2,000 in my account, has actually gone back up. So just because the dollar goes so much farther, but it's just because, you can't afford to live. Canada's not much different cost-wise. Canada's expensive, especially when it comes to your liquor and your cigarettes. But so balance 2,000 is not too bad. Okay, Doug says, ages ago I needed to do that once. I borrowed a bunch of money from friends, put it in my bank, printed out a statement, and gave it back to them. I guess, hey, maybe you can make a business out of that for people that want to stay longer. Because, the 10-year visa in Thailand requires quite a bit. It requires you to have so much money in the bank or make like the equivalent of like $2,000 a month, and I don't know anybody that makes $2,000 a month unless you're a double retiree, that you went through the military, retired from that, went out in the world and worked until you hit the age of 60, 55 or 60 and retired from that. Will you even pull 2,000? Most people in the United States at the retirement age or the disability age, if you didn't work at all, like almost nothing, or you're a spouse to someone, you're only making, I know some people only make 600, but it should be up around the 800 level. That should be the minimum, because that's so way below poverty. Even at the top ring, you're at 1,300. You can Google all this very easily. So like if you max out, so if you're homeless and no way to cook food, there's like, they actually add a little extra onto your bill. Some states actually provide you with food stamps. Some people don't provide. Some states will just rather give you the cash instead of the food stamps. So there's a variation between state by state too. And if you don't accept their insurance, then they actually don't take away from your check for the insurance, but you have to actually decline it and actually sign paperwork that you don't want the insurance. The insurance is garbage anyway. You always end up in the emergency room to get whatever fixed anyway. Some of the retirees have health problems though, so they need to be a regular doctor, but not if you're a traveler, because you don't have time to have a regular doctor. You're not in one location that long. But even if you're maxed out at 1,300, you're still way below the poverty level. Well, you're a few thousand per year under the poverty level. I looked it up once, and yeah, so they don't even pay you enough for poverty. But what that does is that entitles you to other benefits, where like rental assistance and food assistance, and America's really good about having a lot of assistant programs as long as you ask for them. But the thing is that requires staying in one spot, and so then the whole home bum thing happens. If you want these, like if you want the rental assistance, obviously you're going to stay in the spot that you're at. You're going to get a caseworker and all this stuff, and once you start getting caseworkers, now you are in one spot. That's why most vagabonds and stuff only take advantage of something like the food stamp program, which is EBT now. It's on a card. So that was a way to stop people from getting money back, because what they do is with the food stamps, they go in, buy a 10-cent piece of candy and give them a $1 food stamp and get 90 cents back, and they do that over and over and over again until they get enough money for a beer, you know, for a 12-pack of beer. And so the EBT kind of put a stop to that. And also, I think it was also to try and stop people from selling food stamps, but that doesn't do anything, because now people just, you know, well, how much do you want? 50 cents on the dollar. So you're like, well, I want, you know, $100 worth of food, and they're like, okay, that'll be $50. They'll go in with you and purchase the food, and then, you know, you give them the $50. So it never stopped that type of business of taking advantage of the you know, the welfare programs, but it did kind of decrease it. But EBT cards did actually do one thing, though, because a lot of struggling families use it. I know we did. We had to a few times. There was an embarrassment factor pulling out the especially for moms and, you know, stuff like this with their kids, pulling out a booklet of food stamps and ripping out from the pages and handing over something that obviously doesn't look like money, but, you know, it looks like you're spending Monopoly money. There is a very big embarrassment factor where the EBT card just looks like a credit card, and you're just running it like a credit card. You know what I'm saying? It's the same little machine that you use for your Visa. You're just using the EBT card. So I'm very much in favor of the EBT card, because it saved a lot of people from the embarrassment, because it's not. It's not something you really get used to. Asking for money and begging for money is, it doesn't matter how long you do it. It's not really something people care to do. So, you know, but it's a necessary. Some people get immune to it, but there's an embarrassing factor to standing out on a curb with a sign that says, "Hey, I'm a homeless traveler. Anything helps. God bless you," type thing on it. But I know a lot of people say, it doesn't bother me. Well, yeah, it does somewhere in the back of your brain, it does. So, yeah, so EBT cards, I think, good. So, anyway, that's my ramble, guys. We're at 50 minutes. I'm going to wrap this up. You guys have anything? Otherwise, I'm going to start pedaling north, see what I can find. Have Malaysia. Let's see, what would I miss here? But we can make a business out of just putting money in people's accounts, taking a snapshot and getting it back. Then they can get their 10-year visa or 10-year retirement visa up there in Thailand. Okay. Oh yeah, no, definitely. I'm just speaking about, so yeah, many countries have a Social Security payments. Yeah, yeah, they're called kids. The more kids you have, the better your chances at least one of them actually make it and take care of you. No. Yeah, no, we all, it's, you know, take care of the widows, the poor, and the orphans, right? So that's what we do. As a society in general, it's something ingrained in us that we should take care of our own. And anyway, all right, guys, I'm gonna call it quits there and jump on the bicycle and start pedaling up north. So let's say goodbye to Quantin. It was beautiful here, guys. Thank you, Quantin, for a beautiful time. I stayed very, very long. But it was we got the fireworks, the parade, and just Quantin in general. It was great hiking, you know, a beautiful place, guys. It really is, and it's beautiful at night. So I'm gonna say I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna pedal up north. Bye.